the morning continues on the Big 550 KTRS.
Oh, yeah, sure. Hey, we're back. We've got Mayor Chet, the mayor, former mayor, currently suspended mayor of Ellisville. I guess his official title is current suspended mayor Adam Paul of Ellisville, and his attorney Chet Pleban. Chet, you just broke some news that you had Mayor Paul, take a polygraph test, and he passed on whether or not he was drinking on the job. You asked him if he did. He said no, and he passed with flying colors. Any other questions on this polygraph test that you asked the mayor?
Yeah, actually there's several other. I think Adam can explain to you, too, why these types of questions were asked and why he thought those were significant.
Sure.
Go ahead.
And the reason I took the polygraph test, you can't unring a bell, okay, but you can sure muffle it. And especially the below the belt allegation regarding me drinking on the job is obviously, I've got thick skin. I can take political allegations. That's fine. But when you affect my livelihood, that's a big problem to me, and I have to vindicate myself. But just to give you an example of what I've gone through in the last 11 months, I've asked with polygraph tests. I had a total of 30 questions that I had written out, but you can only do 4 at a time, just based on examinations and procedures. So the other questions that I drew up were, Attorney Martin came up to me on the day I was sworn in on April 18, 2012, and he was supposed to meet with me to give me a legal orientation. And one of the questions that I had the polygraph ask me is, Attorney Martin came up to me and said, "Sorry, I haven't given you legal orientation, but I took some things that you said during your campaign personal." So that's just an example that to show the residents and the people that, I can't even get legal orientation from our city attorney for the do's and don'ts regarding a 45-page charter. And that the lie detector results on that came back I was truthful. Attorney Martin did say that to me.
Now, a lot of people don't understand this, but as a mayor, you have a city attorney who guides you through things that are legal, not legal, making sure everyone's doing everything because he knows the city charter better than anybody. That's what his job is to advise you what's legal and what's in that city charter.
Absolutely. And okay. So the lie detector determined that was I was telling the truth.
Okay,
also, there's a question regarding when we last spoke regarding a candidate that I had beat for mayor and current council member, Michelle Murray. I said that she was revving her engine twice before meetings. The day I was sworn into office, she's sitting out in the parking lot when I'm walking by. She revs her engine multiple times in an attempt to intimidate me. Okay, so this is the day I'm getting sworn in front of 250 people and, an angry mob about the Walmart. And, I've got a council member revving her engine. Also, this happened again before another meeting. So that's probably one of the reasons why I said the SH bad word during a closed session meeting, because this has been going on, like I said, for the last 11 months. So the question was, did I lie about Michelle Murray revving her vehicle engine at you on 2 different occasions, one being, the day I was sworn into office? And the lie detector test determined that was the truth. And then the last question I asked is, did I lie about the emails that Council Member Perillo, the harassing emails, where he gives me the salutation Mayor Pyle and includes links to YouTube with quotes from the movie Full Metal Jacket. What's your major malfunction? Blank blank. And this
numbnuts.
Yeah,
he wrote,
I don't know if I can say it on the radio.
You can say numbnuts only in reference to emails and Chet Pleban. he wrote,
and you notice I didn't say anything. I didn't say a word here.
So in this email, he said to you, "What's your major malfunction? Numbnuts."
Yes, sir. And that was a response to me wanting to amend the draft minutes. Stating my objection to doubling our city manager's severance package. I didn't want, anyone to go back to that and be able to say, Mayor Paul voted to double, give our city manager a golden parachute. And, I just got attacked. It was following protocol. And, this is the simple little things that I've been dealing with since day one. With the petulant and the harassment, from council members. I've got no respect. And the biggest question, I guess, from this lie detector test was the alcoholic beverages. It's have I ever brought, drank, or mixed any alcoholic beverages in City Hall or at a council meeting? I know it's 96% accuracy on these lie detector tests, and it might not be admissible in court, but it is admissible in the court of public perception. And to be able to vindicate myself, I will do whatever possible, because you can't unring a bell, okay, but you can sure muffle it down. And that's what I'm trying to exemplify by taking the polygraph, is that I'm not a monster, and I've always fought for what's right for the people, and to have 11 pages of allegations go against me, including drinking on the job, and the whole slew of releasing confidential information, that's preposterous. It's entirely not true.
Adam, let me ask you this question, because this is an important part of this. Even though these charges were dropped last night, in today's Post-Dispatch, they say that we have evidence of you drinking while acting as mayor. Now, I don't know if they produced that evidence, but they're claiming they have this evidence. Have they ever shown you, or Chet Pleban, do you know what evidence they're talking about?
We don't have a clue of what evidence they have. Now we have 12 pages worth of allegations, not 11. And as I said, they date back almost a year now. But ordinarily, you would think that with allegations such as this, that you would conduct a due diligence type investigation. Let me give you an example. The city of Valley Park just recently had an issue with its mayor and its city attorney. And what they did was they didn't rush to judgment. They conducted an investigation. They gave all the parties involved an opportunity to address any issue that was appropriate. I, as a matter of fact, was appointed as a special counsel to do that investigation. And so at the end of the day, the council down there had all of the facts and circumstances on which they could make a decision. Here, what you had is you have no investigation that I'm aware of, at least. You had apparently somebody sitting in a closet keeping notes, I guess, on what Adam was doing on a day-to-day basis, not sharing those with Adam, certainly, and then coming out at the end of the day, close to the April 2nd election, saying that we need to remove him from office based upon alleged conduct that occurred back in the summer of 2012, and there's no investigation. Nobody comes to Adam Paul and says, hey, were you drinking? I would think that if you're going to make an accusation such as that, you would do some sort of due diligence. You would come to him and you would say, listen, this is the allegation. So-and-so has said that you were doing this. Did you do this? Under what circumstances? And explain yourself to us, which is exactly what they did in Valley Park. That never happened in Ellisville. So I don't have a clue of how they can support these charges. And on top of that, Murray makes the motion to have the city attorney draft the preliminary resolution for impeachment. I don't know where he got this information. I don't know if they had meetings that didn't involve Adam Paul. I don't know where the stuff that he put into these, and the city attorney drafted this. I don't know where he got the information. Now, I guess we'll find that out eventually, because we want to take the depositions, and depositions, as you know, are statements under oath where questions are asked and answers are given on the spot to determine the credibility and whether or not any of these allegations can be supported. I highly doubt that they can. Secondly, an allegation, some of the stuff is just plain nonsense. It's silly. It's an impeachable offense for a mayor to ask if he can have a badge.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
I want to clarify on that. The reason that the whole gun and the badge allegation, and that's another one that makes me look ridiculous. The former mayor, Ed O'Reilly, who was actually on this show of 23 years, still has his mayor badge and had told me that they issue a gun. And the reason why I asked that is because I didn't want one. I didn't want a weapon in my house with two small children, and that was simply a normal question to ask. Say, hey, the former mayor had his gun, and he showed me his badge that he still has. And I said, hey, do I get a gun and a badge? I don't think it's the case anymore, but, I need to know because my wife's concerned if a weapon, is in our house. It wasn't like me being like, hey, let me get a gun and a badge, and a light on top of my truck. This.
You didn't want to necessarily be Barney Fife. You were just asking whether or not, hey, does a badge and a gun come with this position?
Yeah, and to be honest, I think it would be kind of cool if I got a gun and a badge. But
I don't think. Hey, I don't think Barney Fife would work in Ellisville right now. That's my thought.
Sounds like Barney Fife's running the city council over there.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So to recap, last night at this meeting, they decided to hire a public relations firm at $400 an hour, which they claim has nothing to do with this current situation.
Right.
They also claim that they have all sorts of evidence showing that you, suspended Mayor Adam Paul, were drinking on the job. But however, no one knows what that evidence is, but they have it. You've announced today that you've taken a polygraph test. That's the only thing you can do to show that I have not drank on the job and I'm doing nothing what they said they do. And all right, so that's sort of where we are. Chet Pleban, what's the next step? What happens now?
Well, what we're going to do is the trial of this matter is scheduled now for March the 27th, starting at 6 o'clock. We are going to tell them that they need to find an accommodation, a meeting
place that will accommodate upwards of 1,000 people, we believe. We believe that the statute, and at the last meeting, you'll recall when they announced this preliminary resolution of impeachment, people were not allowed into the chamber, including some members of the news media. That violates the statute. The statute says that each meeting shall be held at a place reasonably accessible to the public and of sufficient size to accommodate the anticipated audience by members of the public and at a time reasonably convenient to the public. Now, that's the statute. That's not Adam's idea or my idea. So we believe that there will be an extensive turnout for this. We believe that he's entitled to a public hearing on this. And we believe that it has to be in a forum that is convenient to accommodate maybe upward of 1,000 people.
All right. I should say that we continue to ask anybody who has any affiliation with the Ellisville City Council to come on the show, and our repeated phone calls have gone unanswered and unreturned.
And McGraw, I am absolutely willing, if the city attorney or any member of that council wants to come on with me
to talk about this on your show, I'm willing any time. Just let me know.
How about Casey Communications charging $400 an hour for PR?
I'm in the wrong racket.
I will do it.
You're not.
I'll
not.
do it
but
for
I
half
am.
that.
Yeah,
I'll do that for.
Yeah, you're not in the wrong racket, but I am.
Holy mackerel. All right. Ellisville Mayor Adam Paul and attorney Chet Pleban. Gentlemen, thank you very much. And if you're just joining us, breaking news here. Adam Paul takes and passes a lie detector test saying he is innocent, and the results prove that he is innocent of all the charges alleged from the Ellisville City Council. Mayor Adam Paul, I'm sure we'll be talking to you down the road. Chet Pleban, unfortunately, I'm sure this will not be your last time on the show.
Enjoy your extended stay in Florida.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You got it. All right, back in a moment. We'll talk to you got it. We'll talk to Scott Sherman in a second on the Big 550 KTRS. But first, let me tell you this. If you're planning, say, a city council meeting where there are going to be a lot of people, make sure